入感，安分转入。
Sofiah kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Kerana dengan limpahnya dan izinnya dapat saya hadir bersama para hadirin sekalian sekalian untuk majlis pada malam ini, iaitu Royal Dinner, Gala Dinner untuk tabung endowment UTM. Tabung endowment UTM ini merupakan suatu inisiatif yang mulia yang memanfaatkan pelbagai pihak. Kewujudan tabung endowment UTM dapat menghasilkan agenda akademik, pendidikan dan perkhidmatan universiti. Dengan dana ini, universiti mampu menganugerahkan beasiswa serta pendidikan bagi pelajar dalam program pra-sekolah dan pasca-sekolah. Kegiatan pendidikan di kalangan staf akademik juga boleh disediakan selaras dengan sektor UTM sebagai universiti pendidikan. Saudara-saudara sekalian, untuk menghormati tetamu asing yang berada pada malam ini, izinkan saya meneruskan ucapan saya di dalam bahasa Inggeris. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is a very special evening because we are all here for the Royal Gala Dinner, which is in aid of the UTM Endowment Fund, which was launched 2 years ago. I would like to congratulate UTM on introducing its Endowment Fund. As we all know, most universities in the West, especially in the United States, have endowment funds which are used to manage them as well as enabling them to give out scholarships and to fund research, among other things. Just to have an idea of these endowment funds and how much they have compared to what we have now, and this is a challenge to the Vice Chancellor and everybody else at UTM. Harvard University has an endowment fund of 30.7 billion. Next year, maybe we can top up that amount. University of Cambridge, as of last year, 4.3 billion pounds. University of Oxford, I have to mention that, 3.9 billion. University of Edinburgh, 236 billion. University of Manchester, 158 billion. There's a reason why universities should try to have endowment funds. As reported in Bloomberg Business Week, in 2001, Princeton University became the first to replace loans with grants, and 60% of Princeton's class of 2013 received financial aid, with an average grant of $36,000. Since then, Harvard, Baltimore, Stanford, Columbia, and Vanderbilt are among 75 or so colleges that have reduced, capped, or eliminated loans and financial aid packages for all undergraduate students. If this can also be a goal which UTM wishes to achieve, is in giving financial aid and scholarships to undergraduates, then it is really a remarkable and wonderful thing. Such addition means that students who come from the most modest background or from disadvantaged background can dream of going to university and make that dream a reality without putting financial stress and strain upon their parents or themselves. The university education is usually a mark of achievement for teenagers and young adults who succeeded in finishing their secondary education. It should not, however, be confined to what is learned within lecture halls or tutorials, but should also include the participation of campus life. And at most universities, students are encouraged to join the different clubs, which are already established or will be established, and which offer students to be with their peers who have the same interests. Music and drama should be forgotten, or other arts, as this gives students who have a love for either or both to enjoy looking at performances and plays. And let's not forget the names of famous actors who started performing while at university, such as Emma Thompson, Hugh Grant, and our own Mr. Bean, Robert Atkinson. Let us first of all define what is education. Definition of education according to the Oxford Dictionary, there is no other dictionary, the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at a school or university, and it also means to be an enlightening experience. It would be wonderful if the education in our country can be more of an enlightening experience and less of a systematic instruction. I think we can dream towards achieving that. However, one of the problems, as in other countries, we see our educated young people as human resources rather than as individuals in their own right. And students also go to university with the hope that they'll be able to get a good profession, and governments will often encourage them to do so because a successful and large workforce will ensure a better economy. But when education is linked to our country being economically competitive, we should step forward and ask, is this how we wish to educate our children? Our children's education should not be limited to grades and scores or about stirring up competition. Instead, we should be informed about the quality of learning and how this in turn will affect the quality of life in our society. And education should ideally include a caring education as well as a holistic and spiritual one. All these three elements mean that a student will not just focus on his lectures and his exams, but should be able to form friendships, have a curiosity about his surroundings, and if he or she is at a foreign university, that they take an interest in what is happening around them, whether it's an event which can be of great joy or something which can cause sadness. There's one thing to be part of the community fits in with the ideas expressed by those who advocate holistic learning. And a university education should also include more than just reading books or being in libraries and attending lectures. It should be about having social abilities, how to interact, how to have opinions of your own and still respect the opinions of others. More than ever, in the internet age now, and in social media, the saying that a man is not an island holds true. We have the internet, of course, smartphones, the iPad, and other telecommunication tools, which keep us in touch with each other regardless of where we are in the world. I would like to share with you some of my own experiences regarding education, because I think part of what I went through is really something I hope and I wish other Malaysian students can go through and have the chance to experience. When I was at a boarding school in England, I learned about political parties, and this is not something that we learn here in Malaysia. But at school in England, during history class, I had to learn parties there were in that country, and which ones had formed governments. So I learned about being right-wing, liberal, left-wing, and so on. And when I came home to Malaysia during the holidays, I understood what elections were about and who were taking part in these elections. I'm not so sure whether our young teenagers have an awareness of what is happening. I was then only age 14, but I already had an idea what politics were, what elections were, and what political parties were. And all this I learned through history classes. The education I received last century included learning about the everyday details and lifestyles of the British people during the 1970s. That gives away my age. Don't try to calculate how much. Our knowledge was not confined to the classroom, but included the encouragement to read newspapers. And every day, all newspapers would be delivered to our respective boarding houses, and we were encouraged to read these newspapers and to know what was going on. Of course, many things have changed since those days in the last century, and even as adults no longer need to find news or updates via instant media. Everything is available online. Our lives are different now. We're linked to our families and our colleagues throughout the day, whether it is by using Twitter, Facebook, or other social media. And it's almost impossible now to escape from being available and being asked to respond, unless we're far away in a place which offers no Wi-Fi. Early this year in May, when I attended the Digitally Path conference together with the UTM lecturers, one of the first questions, the very, very important questions I asked was, is there Wi-Fi? When I was told there wasn't, I think Professor Rosalina will agree with me, we both wondered if we could possibly survive 3 long days with no Wi-Fi. Because I had the company of very interesting, very intelligent UTM lecturers, and the Vice Chancellor himself, and his one Pro-Chancellor, I did survive. And just wasn't what was said during the conference that was interesting, it was also being able to interact with the professors who were there, who were from the US, the UK, and other parts of the world. So, really, a university education shouldn't just be about what we learn within this lecture room. It should be about people we meet and what we share together, and in understanding that we are all part of the same world. It has been many years now since I was an undergraduate, but what I was told prior to sitting for the entrance examination then is still true until this day. And I tell myself this whenever I'm in the company of learned men and women, as I am tonight. And this always freaks me out because I know that everyone is professors and doctors and lecturers, and I'm just a graduate with a very tiny degree. What I was told was, it is not what you know that matters, it's how you think. And many of our Malaysian young people do not know how to think. They know a lot, they can read a lot, and then they can present that in essays and during their exams. But asking to think, and it might be a bit different. This is not their fault. It is us. It is our education system, and it is how we have made them into becoming so worried about what to say, how to respond, and so on. We come from a system where we listen and we do what we're told, and we're not encouraged to ask questions. But at UTM, as you all know, as scientists, as engineers, the question why is what makes you want to try out experiments and carry out research. So as a research university, UTM needs to find students who are curious and through their curiosity become creative. Before I left university in the UK, the principal of my college asked me, what do you hope to do when you go home to Malaysia? And that was in 1983, sorry. And I said, such a wonderful time here, and I would like other Malaysian students to experience what I did, to be able to have this kind of campus life and to learn so much. And in a way, I was thinking of scholarship, but it's not until tonight that has become a possibility. So to UTM, thank you for making my dreams come true. And I'm hoping that whoever the donors are in here will make my dream a bigger dream, so that we can perhaps compete with Harvard. They have 13 billion, and that's the target for next year. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.